Welcome to the Abundance Hack Show, where we are inspiring you to tap into your power to manifest the happiness, success, and fulfillment that you desire. I am your host, Niajae, the Upper Limit Coach. I am here to dismantle your limiting beliefs and remove the blocks so you can confidently live your life's purpose, because life is meant to be abundant. M&Ms, thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. What are you manifesting in your life today? If you were just tuning in for the first time, while M&Ms are super yummy candies, it actually stands for magical manifestors, because we are manifesting by default. Even if you are not actively trying to manifest something, your thoughts, your actions, your patterns are manifesting your reality. So what we do here at Abundance Hack is help you manifest the success, the love, the happiness, the joy that you want to attract in your life. Today's guest is Amber Hagberg, and I'm super excited to dive into her story and what she does. It's super amazing. But before we dive into who she is, Amber, I want to ask you, what does abundance mean to you?
Abundance is trusting that you have all that you need and there's more to come always. But in the moment, you're full and rich with everything that the universe has to offer you right now, whether it be super yummy, juicy, or dark, black, and cloudy. Abundant is this moment.
I love it. I love it. So tell us about you. Who are you and what is it that you do?
My name is Amber, and I live here in Costa Rica. Talk about abundance, the waterfalls, the sunshine, the food, the fresh fruits, the people. But I was born and raised in Iowa in the United States. Many people ask me, like, where are you from? I'm like, nowhere you know. Cornfields and pigs. And through life's journey brought me to the practice of yoga, and I ended up moving to Costa Rica. And really, I was busy. I was busy after high school doing all the things that society told me to do. Go to college, have a job, pay the bills, prepare for when I retire. Yet I was like super miserable, so burnt out and unhappy. And at the time I was telling my boyfriend, like, I just want to be happy. And he's like, what are you talking about? And like, I didn't even realize what that meant at the time either, until I found the practice of yoga. And it allowed me to find the space inside of me that actually wasn't out there. I was no longer seeking, but it was just like this sense of being that brought me happiness, fulfillment. And through the journey of practicing yoga, I moved to Costa Rica and found that my thoughts create my reality. And it's from having a daily yoga practice that I knew what I wanted, because I created space for myself. So I want to share with people that are busy doing things, because what they say is like, we're all busy, but what are we busy doing? Because if you've been to Costa Rica, you can see how busy the ants are. They work all day long, and they're just taking the leaves to the queen. And that's how I felt after high school. I was just doing the robot, and so I want to teach the world how to be busy doing the things that fill them up. That busyness is no longer something you have to do, but something rather that you're choosing to do. Busy doing things that make you feel more alive, more connected to yourself, and share that with people, that we have the opportunity to choose where we put our precious life force energy.
I love it. I love it. And so how long ago did you start yoga?
10 years ago.
That's amazing. And what was that moment that inspired you to be a yoga instructor?
Yeah, I was going to music festivals, hula hoop dancing, and I started combining like handstand and wheel pose and all these crazy yoga postures. And I was like, oh, maybe I should study more about what this yoga thing is. So it's always funny for me to reflect back onto like why I went and took a yoga teacher training. But it was to start to share with people what really helped me find myself. And it was just this deep inspiration to share the gift of healing that yoga brought me with other people. I feel like the more people that are doing yoga, the world's going to be a better place, because yoga makes us happier. And if we're happier, our community is happier. And it's a ripple effect.
I love it. I love it. And so what about meditation? Like, I know that everyone kind of has a different understanding of what meditation means to them. So if someone didn't know what meditation was, how would you explain it?
Well, I feel like in the world of busyness, to tell someone that meditation is having no thoughts, they're going to run away.
Hmm.
So I tell people like that's an illusion. Like as a modern day yogi or as a modern day human being, we have billions of thoughts every day. And so meditation is learning how to pause the space between the thoughts. And the more that we sit in stillness, the more space we create from thought to thought. And in that space, we create a sense of freedom, a sense of peace, but also the ability to consciously create and put our energy where we want to see grow. So I feel like meditation at some point is long spaces in between the thoughts. But for the moment, for those that are just beginning a meditation practice, it's that pause just before you inhale or just after you exhale.
I love that. I love that. So, if you were explaining to someone how they can start to add meditation into their daily routine, what would that look like?
Right in the morning, sit and watch your breath.
Mhm.
When your mind starts to think, come back to your breath. The mind was designed to think. We're blessed to have it. But if we don't learn how to control it, it will control us. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, but you can always come back to your breath. At any point throughout your day, you can bring meditation in by simply bringing your awareness back to your breath. I
Mm.
say it's best to start your day with breath awareness. Become aware of your breath. When you wake up, notice your breath, and then you get to tune in like, what did I wake up with? What's present and alive for me in this moment today, right now? And then do I want to continue to put my energy there? Nope, come back to the breath. Nope, come back to the breath. And at least 5 minutes every day. I say the magic number is 20 minutes every day in the morning. Simply observe your breath. And in that
Mhm.
20 minutes, you get to become really aware of what your mind is focusing on, what has risen to the surface. They say that the first 40 minutes of being awake, your subconscious is active. So you get to see what's in the undercurrents of what you're not aware of throughout your busy day of doing in the conscious mind of what you know. So in the morning, you get to know like what's underneath, what's there that I don't see in my busy day of doing.
Mm. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I definitely meditate first thing in the morning. So before I pick up my phone, before I start scrolling on social media and checking my email, like I have to meditate. Like it's just for me, it's like grounding myself, setting intentions for the day before the world starts like like getting in my head. So it's really really important and I think a powerful practice that everyone should incorporate into their day to day.
Yeah, I tell my students like in this world where we are now, we have to have phone boundaries. And
Mhm.
if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is check your phone, you're being programmed. And why would you want to start your day based on what you see opposed to what you feel? Because that's not yours. So having that moment, that time in the morning to not tune into the external world, but your own world gives you the power to choose how you move throughout your day opposed to allowing your phone, social media, Instagram, Facebook to program you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So, what was the process like moving to Costa Rica? So, picking up from, you said Iowa?
Well, I from Iowa, I moved to Colorado. 4 years in Colorado, then I moved to Costa Rica.
Yeah. What was that process like? I know there's a lot of times where people say, "Oh, I wish I could live in Costa Rica," or "I wish I could live in another country," but there's so much like fear and limiting beliefs that prevent them. So, did you have a moment where you were like, "I don't know if I could do this?"
Yeah, this is where having a daily meditation and or yoga practice come in because as humans, fear is normal and it's okay. But within the yoga practices, like how do I lean into that fear? And so since I took on the yogic path, I'm constantly doing things that scare me and I'm just leaning into those fears. And when I left Iowa and I moved to Colorado, I told myself, you can always go back to Iowa and be a waitress. When I left Colorado, I moved to Costa Rica and in that I was like, so in Colorado, I had like a full-time job. I was teaching like 16 yoga classes a week. I had a salary making $40,000+ a year, and I didn't have to worry. Everything was super easy, yet I was still seeking more. And I was like, I want to move to Costa Rica. I want to make my dreams come true. And I'm like writing about leading retreats and teacher trainings. And I was writing these things, but I didn't believe that it was possible for me. Like there was that fear, like I'm writing and I'm like, yeah, right, not me, you know? And when I chose to do it, I said the same thing I did when I left Iowa. And I said, Amber, you can always come back to Colorado. And when I left Iowa, everyone's like, what are you doing? Why are you dropping out of college to chase yoga? And when I left Colorado, everyone's like, what are you doing? Like, you have a full-time job. You didn't have to go to college to get this. Your bills are taken care of. You're saving money. And yet I was like, no, my soul wanted something more. And I was like, and you can always go back. And, you know, what I've been contemplating now is like, as I take that step into going to the next level, I always have like this backup plan or the safety. And right now in this moment, I have this ruffling where my soul wants something different. Yet this time I don't know where I'm going. And I'm like, oh no. But normally I have plan A, B, C, and D. And right now I don't even have plan A, but I'm like, my soul's being called for something else. And so if you don't take risks to fail, you don't know what's possible. So take a risk, because you can always go backwards, but you're never going back. Because even if you return back home, I tell people that live in Iowa, please leave for 1 year. And if after 1 year you want to go home, go home. But you don't know what's possible if you don't risk failing. But you didn't fail. You took an opportunity. And in that opportunity, you never go back the same person. You've grown. You're different. So go for it. You have nothing to lose but to really see what's possible. And in 2020, my intention this year is expand into what's possible. And I don't even know what that means yet, but I'm like, what can I expand into? What's possible? And the words that come to my mind are unlimited.
I love it. I just got chills. Like, that was so good. Are you ready to raise your vibrations and tap into abundance? Download our free Abundance Guided Meditation to accelerate your manifestation. This will help you visualize your abundant life and align with that vision so it can become your reality. To download the MP3, go to abundancehack.com/abundance guided meditation. And remember, life is meant to be abundant. I want to dive into, you know, how you say like your soul wants something different, because I think we all have like an inner voice. Our inner being knows what we want, but we don't quiet our mind or the external noise enough to really tap into that. So if someone is in that place, because I know for me, my own personal situation, like I've had to peel layers back. Like society says you should be doing this, your parents and family says you should be doing this, your friends think you should do this. So really quieting the noise to really get to our inner voice. If someone was like, okay, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to tap into what my soul desires. Like, how would you recommend they try to do that?
Yeah, I think we all have different ways to go about this. For example, my sister's like, I don't know what to do. I'm not happy. And I said, just keep trying new things. It can be physical, where you go skiing, and then you go surfing, then you go snorkeling, or it can be going into school and studying all the different electives that they have. One thing that I'm really encouraging my students to do in this moment that is the artist way. I'm not sure who's familiar with the artist way, but it's when you wake up in the morning, write 3 pages. Just write 3 pages, and it's messy. You don't know what you're writing, and you're just allowing the pen to move. And in that, things are coming up for my students, and they're saying, I can't believe this is coming up. I didn't even know that was there. And I think that if you're not sure what you want, you just have to keep looking for it, trying new things, writing things out, sitting in stillness. Another magical thing you can do here in Costa Rica is I just go to the waterfall and I just look around and I allow there to be space. But what happens now is, instead of letting us be bored and daydream, we fill our time with our phones. We're scrolling, and we never allow the imagination to go. Like, what if we just lied down on the grass and looked and watched the clouds pass by? And in those moments of stillness, that's where these messages come through. But if we're busy, we don't have time to look into that boredom where actually the soul starts to speak.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. So you just launched a yoga and meditation company, or like something online. Tell us a little bit more about what you just launched online.
Yeah, so I was diving in, like, I want to create something. I don't know what I want to create. And I made one of the biggest investments I ever made into taking an online business course. And I wanted it for marketing. And what it actually did was allow me to birth like my online business, where I've taken all of my life experiences and I put it into a course. And within this course, I guide people into how to create a daily routine. For the people that are so busy that they're like, I don't have time for myself. And I'm like, but what if you do this? But what if you try this? Because in the world today, there's this illusion that yoga is physical. I want to get a yoga booty. I want the yoga pants, the yoga mat. But like, I mean, not gonna lie, that's what got me there. I was like going to hot yoga, Bikram, sweating, and I was like, I got addicted, you know? And yeah, even without trying, I lost like 20 pounds going to hot yoga, and I was like, oh, this is so great. But the difference about that was that I was going to the gym and I didn't find that same connection that when I left yoga, I was like, what's this feeling? And so I want people to cultivate that feeling through the practice of yogic philosophy. And yogic philosophy is a way in which you live your life. The rules of yoga, they say, the yamas and niyamas. So at first, the yoga practice, it's about you. Let's not lie. I want to feel better. I want to be happy. But then the ripple effect happens, and the practice is no longer about me, but it's about we. If I get onto my yoga mat and I have an amazing experience, but then when I leave, I start flipping people off on the side of the road or like hurting animals, what was the point?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I do is I help people navigate through their relationships. I know growing up when I had relationships in high school, it was always my boyfriend's fault. You know, nothing was ever my fault, right? And so yoga allows us to look inside and be like, why is the external world triggering me? And so in the online course, I teach people how to practice yoga asana, how to create a daily meditation practice, and how to relate to the inner world, the things that rise up in their practice, and how to relate to the external world, how to relate to their partners, their families, their friends, how to do more in the world and the environment to care about plastic. And really it's, how do I live from a place of intention? So that way everything that you do is with purpose. Because so many people don't realize that it doesn't matter, we're humans, and as humans we're always going to have choices and we're always going to make judgments. But how do we make the best, wisest choice and judgments for everybody? So live your yoga on and off the mat. And that's really my passion now, is like, it's about us together as community to make the world a better place. And so I teach people from the very basics how to stand in Tadasana mountain pose, how to align your physical body, how to quiet your thoughts. And then we go deeper. How do I relate to the external world? And how does my practice every day on the mat, how does that affect living your yoga off the mat? And I teach people how, with real life examples of triggers that happen in our lives, so that it's accessible for the modern yogi to know what that means, to know what yoga embodied actually is.
I absolutely love it. So powerful. Because it's true, you know, yoga has definitely become this fad of like the yoga booty, but it is a daily practice, and if you're not incorporating it into your life, you're not really getting the full benefits in your life. So I love that. Live your yoga on and off your mat. Brilliant. Yeah. All right. So I love everything you're doing, and I could talk to you forever, but we have to wrap it up. So I want to wrap it up with your 3 top tips for living an abundant life.
Powerful question. I would say the 3 top tips for abundance is making time for you. The first thing that you do in the morning, space. to know that there is always enough time for your to-do list, that prioritizing you in the morning aside from all distractions is the first way to really reflect that like there's always enough time. And then the second is like there's no better time to do what your heart is called to do than right now, because you are supported. The abundance of support that is there when you lean into fear will impact your life and change where you are and who you want to be. And the third way, I believe, is the choices that you make every single day. How do you choose to fill your day? Is who you're hanging out with in alignment with who you want to become? Is the foods you're eating in alignment with how you want to feel? Is the way in which you're serving your community, your family, and the external world in alignment with knowing that you are held and supported by realms that we can't see, touch, or be with in the physical?
I love it. I love it. So powerful. Oh my goodness. So where can people find you online?
You can find me on YouTube. I post weekly meditation and yoga practices. You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, all at amberhagberg.com.
Awesome. I will put those in the show notes. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to just connect with you more and do some joint, workshops or meditations, all the things. Like I'm really excited and I'm glad we were connected. So really quick story, M&Ms. We were connected through a friend that I've spoken about, Christine Van Loo. She's absolutely amazing. She is one of the top aerialists, I feel like, in the world. And she is just a phenomenal, phenomenal woman. We met in Costa Rica, and Amber lives in Costa Rica. So I love when amazing people connect you with other amazing people. So I'm really grateful that we connected, and I look forward to working with you more in the future.
Yeah, totally. Thank you for having me. I feel like all that you're doing is, sharing with people that they can live the life they choose to live. And I have lots of meditations on my YouTube channel for manifesting the life that you dream and desire to live. So I am super grateful for you to be sharing that and spreading that around and letting others know that the life that they want to live is right here.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Until next time, M&M's, love and light. Thank you for tuning in to the Abundance Hack Show. I would love to hear from you. Leave your comments and questions, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our yummy episodes. Every time you leave a 5-star rating or review, I do my happy dance.